ऐसे बड़े-बड़े शादी में ऐसे छोटे-छोटे चीज हो जाते हैं ना.
If you want to be cringe, be cringe.
Do you want content or do you want it to be a memory?
A human smile, a human laugh has like a bell curve.
Yeah.
You look bad at both ends of it. All their smiles have to sing. And then you have to pray.
Deepika, Ranveer, Sid, Kiara, Katrina, Vicky, Bipasha, your favorite wedding to shoot.
Can I have a laddu, please?
Best internet-friendly poses for couples. Can I just say this? This has to stop.
Sangeet would mean that we are going back between three of us with about 15,000 clicks, which we are going to filter down to 200.
Get a local photographer. Picture hi to leni hai.
You have to work so hard to get that done. For me, I get it for free.
They are super excited. They are always like, कुछ तो बना दो हमारा.
If you think weddings are all pretty lehengas and dreamy venues, honey, think again. Welcome back to the Manyavar Shaadi Show, a podcast where I, Karan Johar, your host, spill the secrets no one tells you about your very big day. This episode is all about capturing your wedding memories, photography, videography, and so much more. I promise the behind-the-scenes chaos was way juicier than what you saw on screen. So today, we're spilling the secrets from the pros who actually capture those magical moments without losing their cool. Or maybe, well, losing it just a little. First up, the man who practically invented cinematic wedding films in India. If you've ever wept over Virat and Anushka's vows or swooned at Deepika and Ranveer's wedding shots, you already know his work. He's the original wedding blockbuster director Vishal Punjabi, aka the wedding filmer. Next, a name that's practically synonymous with wedding photography royalty in India, co-founder of Stories. He's the visionary behind some of the country's most iconic wedding moments, including Priyanka and Nick's to the most recent Ambani's grand wedding. Please welcome the one and only Joseph Radhik. And finally, the duo that makes sure you don't miss real and real weddings. Co-founders of Shaadi BTS, Kavita and Ankit Vangani, they turned candid behind the scenes into viral Instagram content. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Shaadi
Karan.
podcast by Manyavar. Firstly, all of you in your Manyavar clothes look absolutely smashing. I think we could all really be the three of us are twinning.
I quite liked it. When we took the photo together, I thought this works. This could be a
It
team.
really looks great. Yours is kind of like beautiful Indian meets tribal
And it's
embroidery.
comfortable. I can
And
wear
both of
that.
us look like we're ready to get married to each other. And both of you look like you're twinning in the
Yeah.
best way. Like
We
truly
will be
partners in glamour, fashion and crime. Where else has it happened but at Manyavar? So welcome to our show. So much I have, so many things I'm curious about, so many things that I'm sure you all will reveal, some tea that also needs to be spilled. I remember how important wedding albums used to be. You know, I remember my parents' wedding album and how beautiful those black and white photographs were. But those were the good old days. I often used to find my parents' album and flip through it. Such fond memories. Now those are replaced by what we call as aesthetic Instagram videos. Vishal, I want to start with you. So, Vishal, congratulations on your mammoth achievements and truly making wedding filming like visionary, and you pioneered it in so many ways. This time, recently, you were on the other side. How different was it?
It was, and you see brides getting married, you see grooms getting married, and you always wonder, will my turn ever come? Will I feel like that ever? And it happened, and it was magical. I didn't have to look at the video though, because I had my team there
Yeah.
who were filming it, and
But did you let go?
I did manage to let go.
Yeah.
Joseph was there shooting it. He shot the photos of it, and they looked stunning.
Oh,
I
wow.
finally understand what the fuss of this guy is all about.
Yeah. All the fast. We all know Joseph's work is extraordinary. I've stood in front of Joseph's camera many times myself, and I'm like, I think I'm one of his fastest people. I'm like, quick, let me just get out of here, just quick. I have one profile that I show all the time, and I'm like,
I know which one also.
yeah, of course you know. We all know videographers and photographers are a must, an absolute must. Like I think that you cannot manage with them. But how many are actually needed for a wedding? Can you help me answer that?
Okay. So there are three stories at every wedding. Okay. There's the story of the bride, there's the story of the groom, and there's the story of the family. Now in Indian weddings, the family is actually a separate story by itself. Because I see brides pretty much throughout the year. They spend 3 hours in the makeup room, 3 hours at the event. Okay, so they the amount of time they get to interact with family is very little. So their story is completely different. Grooms on the other side, they spend 10 minutes getting ready at most, right? And then 4 hours partying. And then there are the fathers, right? The fathers, the mothers who are so involved in getting the wedding to be the wedding, right? These are three separate stories. So I believe that no matter how small the wedding is, like at Virat's wedding, for example, I think there were under 50 guests. We still had 3 people to shoot it. Completely separate storylines. The end result should be a cinematic,
A narrative, actually.
a narrative,
Yeah.
which you should not be able to distinguish who shot what. But all these three should have completely different responsibilities. The only thing I cared during that wedding, I didn't care about Tuscany. I care about Anushka, the bride, her best friends, her relationship with her parents. That's it. No matter what happened during Virat's Barat, I didn't see it. I literally didn't see that side. So I like to be tunnel visioned when I shoot a wedding. Just shoot that. I know there's cool stuff happening there. Don't be jealous of the rest of my team who gets to do that. With the fireworks going off, let them go.
That's great.
It's
You don't have any FOMO about that. You're
Correct.
catching the core emotional bits. I think essentially, Vishal, you do the same.
Yeah.
In fact, you have to also, I feel like in a way, it's like you have to be a therapist also, because it's like you're literally sitting at the other end asking questions.
You have to get to know them, and
You
talk
have to kind of know them, feel their vibe, their energy. A lot of them clamp up on camera because not all of them have ever faced the camera. It's like very unusual to start speaking into a camera, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and when I've seen so many of your videos, and there is, with the lack of a better word, it's so beautifully filmy sometimes that like you start getting involved into their story. And actually, nothing they're saying is really path breaking, because all brides and grooms have very similar emotions, you know, and families feel the same.
Not excitement, and I love you, and I can't wait to be
that,
with you.
know, and that moment. But yet, music does the trick. Cutting, editing, and then photography. It all comes together. Like your experience is obviously also a balance of technique and emotion, right?
It is like, you know what, when you were describing the shot you took when you made Rocky or Rani,
Yeah.
you have to work so hard to get that done.
Yeah.
And for me, I get it for free.
Yeah.
It's there. Like no,
Yeah.
and everyone puts their best foot forward at a wedding.
Right.
No? The number of people who film it, and it's always about action and reaction, like in a Bollywood movie. So if the bigger the wedding, the more the action, the more the camera is needed. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. So obviously, then you kind of, yeah, I get that. I love that you said you get it all for free. Actually, you don't. You have to put a lot of thought into it, but still, it's all there, created for you. Sometimes some aesthetics can be a sensibility sore, but like you have to still deal with it, right? Make it look good. Kavita and Ankit.
Yes.
Posing well to post well has now become such an important part of our day-to-day operations when it comes to our weddings, functions,
True.
celebrations. What are the 5 best internet-friendly poses for couples to avoid looking cringe?
See, for me, I think if you want to be cringe, be cringe. It's fine. It's fine. Instagram will say, people will say, you know, negative comments will come. But for
You
me,
do you. You be you is what you're
you
Yeah.
saying.
be you.
Like we tell all
Like,
our
I'm sorry to say, but
Yeah.
can I just say this? This has to stop. Like, this has to stop. Like, someone stop people. Like, beg of you. Yeah, like this. My son does it better. He's like, hey, if somebody told me I broke up. No, my son just broke up. He said, oh, you mean? Like, I said, yeah. And like, I was like, he's 9. So he kind of made it cooler. This has to stop,
Yeah.
and this has
Yeah.
to stop. Like,
This
leave
is-
this to Korea and leave this behind somewhere.
But this is Gen Z. It
Yeah.
cannot
It's not
stop
Gen Z,
now.
it's stupid.
Korea.
It's
It's
like
Korea,
this,
yeah.
ये हम पैसों के लिए करते हैं. ये हमारा ये gesture
Always
पैसों के लिए
money.
होता है. This is our way of saying money. What is this?
That's
But
exactly
it-
what he said.
What?
Yeah.
He said it's
I thought you're counting money.
I mean, it's like literally like. So, but you're still saying you be you. I'm joking when I say this. If you want to do this, please do it. Like, it's your life, your problem. But I'm like, I just go like when something I'm like, oh God, like, like someone stop them. And you've known then they're doing something cringy, but you allow it. Like you.
Yeah, like with couples, we say that okay, like you do whatever you want to do, but we want you that you be your authentic self, because you know, like weddings today, they are like a lot of weddings today are done for Instagram. You see, like people do a lot of things to get viral on social media. Like we as wedding content creators, we come in there. Like people contact us, people book us that okay, we want to go viral on social media. We want that everyone sees our video. That is a new rage that has come in the wedding industry. That is where like we have come in, because we were not there earlier. Like we as a niche have come in only like 3 years back. Like we were the first ones who started this. Like where we came into the industry, we started just shooting on our phones. We're not using like professional cameras, which these guys use. These guys are legends in the industry. We just started shooting randomly, and from there only we said that okay, the couples be authentic self, be your natural self, and that is what people like to
See, as you said in that movie, the BTS was
Yeah.
crazy. So for us, what we try and capture is the BTS.
Yeah,
The
the madness
cinematic
behind the real
and
scene.
the real moments will be captured, but the madness behind it, the BTS when why people are crying, what's happening behind the scene. So capturing that
The
emotion
way you
is
said the BTS behind the
Yeah.
Rocky and Rani Vermala scene,
Yeah.
that you tape everything, you do this and that. So that is where we
I
try
mean,
to capture.
so much cheating goes into things, and then
Yeah.
you're making it all look so pretty, and people are
Yeah.
irritable and annoyed, want to remove their thing, and we're shooting this beautiful looking song where everyone's
Yeah.
meant to look glorious and glamorous and beautiful, and everyone's so fed up.
it's the same in weddings.
Though it was the
Same,
funniest
yeah.
when I shot that sequence. I mean, this is again a segue from what we were talking about. Alia got married to Ranveer, and 4 days later got married to Ranveer
Yeah.
on my
Yeah.
film. Her mehendi is the same.
Yeah.
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 Her mehendi was touched up. It was touched up, and it's the same because she got married and we were shooting in Jaisalmer like 4 days later. So literally, she has come from one wedding to another. She was like, "Man, like I'm just exhausted." Like because this was like filming is a different ball game, na? You have to sit in that outfit the whole day, or rather in that case, the whole night. Joseph, wedding photography has so many mediums. What's your poison, and why do you like that particular type of photography?
So there's this thing that I love telling everyone that
Yeah.
I don't believe there's any such thing called candid wedding photography or traditional wedding photography. There's so many names given to it and so many types of boxes they try to. I mean, we have tried over the past few years to advertise and say we're different from the guy who used to shoot, say, 25 years ago, right? Who gave you that wedding album
Yeah.
in your home.
Yeah.
I don't think we're any different. I think wedding photography is wedding photography. At its core, it's about photographing emotion and preserving memories.
Yeah.
And you should be able to do that, and you should be a great all-rounder in the sense that I'm not going to go to a wedding and educate the guests as to what wedding photography is. So if somebody comes up to me and says, "Bhaiya, mera photo le lijiye," of course I will. And I'll make it the best I can. Right? I will light it. Doesn't matter if it is the 50th uncle or your childhood class teacher's neighbor that you have invited to the wedding that even you don't know who it is.
Childhood class teacher's neighbor is
I
really
have
big.
seen that.
Oh, you have. I love that.
Karan, in my first year of shooting weddings, a bride told me, "Joseph, we're having a very intimate wedding, Telugu wedding, okay? Very intimate wedding, only 3,700 we have invited. Only." Okay, now, see, she's not going to know the 3,700th person at the wedding. But when they come up and ask for a wedding, ask for their photo, that is just as important as the photo of the bride and groom.
Yeah, because for them it's important, right?
Correct. So what's my poison? My poison is the emotion, right? Is the ability. I got into this because I have an innate love for photojournalism, of that one iconic photo, right? Little would I know that 15 years later, I think millions have seen my photos. That's the ultimate dream. When you get published in a newspaper or anything.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I think a few zeniths of my career is Sachin posted a photo of Virat's wedding, and I was like, I can drop my camera and I can walk away.
Done it.
I'm done. You know,
I mean, that's like not just the coming together of two titans, but it's
Yeah.
such a beautiful coming together,
Yeah,
and for such a beautiful
this
moment.
was my face. Okay?
Yeah.
This was my face when
Wow.
that happened.
Yeah. It's
or-
kind of what I know the feeling. It's like kind of two times that happened to me, but separate occasions. Is when I directed Mr. Bachchan for the first time, and when Lata ji sang for me.
Wow.
I remember I felt like, and they both happened on my second feature film, and I was like, I was 28 years old, and I'm like, man, like this is my entire childhood, like unraveling in front of me.
This is K3G, no?
How do in K3G? I'm like, how can I go beyond this? And I still don't think I have.
Yeah.
You know, I think I peaked. Like this could be your peak.
that was
Like I think I peaked at 28. Like
Yeah.
I had Lata ji singing the title track, and I was sitting in that console and just weeping. Like I was just weeping because she's my entire child. Like really is. Like I'm obsessed with her. And Amit uncle is somebody like I literally go do a Shashtang Pranam when I meet him. So I'm like, I can't believe I'm directing him. Like I felt sick the day I was directing him because I was so stressed. And how do you tell Amitabh Bachchan what to do? Like you should just say like,
Correct.
sir, just do what you have to do. Who am I to say anything?
So my second thing was this. I got a notification one day that Amitabh Bachchan has tagged you on Instagram. And I was just like, is this even real?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. So I think the big joy for me isn't so much being credited for the photos, but the fact that the photograph goes so far.
Images, videos, they talk to you. Like, we are so used to doom scrolling that we sometimes lose the essence of some particular moments that have been captured so beautifully. Vishal, you've been part of hundreds of weddings. Like, you've been part of so many weddings. I wonder if you've done a count. When should photography and videography bookings happen in the wedding timeline?
Ideally 6 months before to a year
6 months?
before. 6 months before to a year before, because you kind of know. No? In India, especially, you do the roka, you do the engagement to make sure you get the crew you want, the makeup artist you want, the location you want, the photographer and the videographer you want.
Yeah.
6 months is safe, especially if you're doing it in wedding season, because that's when it goes crazy. November, December, the winter weddings in India.
Yeah.
If you're doing it in the West, then it's always the spring and the fall wedding
Yeah.
people want, because summer tends to be too hot. 6 months, I would say, minimum.
I don't have a timeline. I think we should be the second decision that's made. First is your date. Second should be your photographers. Because then you'll choose your venue and all of that stuff. But if your date is fixed, reach out.
It's now become so much more important because people have realized the impact of photography and videography and BTS, because they've realized that the memories lie there, nowhere else.
But even clothes take time, just to make up your mind and do trials, and especially brides. I know this because I saw my wife do it when she was getting married to me.
Yeah.
And just like deciding what you want to wear takes time,
Yeah.
to
Because
fit
it's
in.
forever, right? Hopefully. Hopefully. So one clicks 1,000 of photos at a wedding, right? I mean, you've done it like at the Ambani wedding. I don't even know what the count was.
I do.
Show us a full wedding set that you shot, not just snippets, but you posted to your Instagram, I'm sure.
Correct.
How many photos does it take to get that one photo?
When the shutter clicks, I don't consider it a photo.
Yeah.
Okay. It could be a reject, which means that, I'll just delete it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So the number of clicks that are needed to get a perfect photo, I would say, are somewhere between 30 to 40.
Wow.
And I'm not shooting like cut throughout. So a human smile, a human laugh has like a bell curve. You look bad at both ends of it. And then right in the middle is when you
Capture at the center.
correct. So, but for that, and now you multiply that complexity by 3 people if they're in a photo. All their smiles have to sync. And then you have to pray.
Like, or you encounter people like me who will not smile in a photo. Like, I'll not smile.
But you don't know when the camera is facing you. You
Yeah.
may actually smile.
Yeah.
And then the person next to you blinks.
Yeah.
So then,
And then you're
that
like,
is
oh,
also a
shit,
reject.
yeah, I know.
And so on and so forth. Now you take that into account. So a typical day, Karan, I'm going to actually give you a number. An event like a Sangeet would mean that we are going back between 3 of us with about 15,000 clicks,
Oh my God.
which we are going to filter down to 200. That's all that matters. And that is the reality, not the 15,000.
I'm sure it's made you all, better decision makers in life.
100%.
You don't have to think on your feet.
Because I know that when I'm selecting takes, you have to go fast, right? Because sometimes you have 20 takes. Of course, I have 20, 10, 12. You have 5,000, 10,000. But I feel like I take decisions faster because I'm a filmmaker. I think all of us who have options and we have to decide one fast
Like
in a
very
given
quickly,
certain moment,
yeah.
it gives us, it's also a great personality trait to acquire as a result of our jobs.
It's ruthless sometimes. You have to be a butcher and you have to let
Yeah.
go of things that you like, because there's
Yeah.
only that much you
No, they
can.
call it, it's to kill your darlings.
You know?
That's what
fact.
we do in the writing. When we edit something out that we love or we need for the betterment, we call it killing your darlings.
At a celebrity wedding,
Yeah.
you're now required to do the same process in half an hour. Once the fairas are done, in half an hour, the press and everyone's waiting outside. You were waiting outside. Varun Natasha's wedding,
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
waiting outside to see the photos.
Yeah.
And I was at another wedding and I was in touch with Jameer and Shivali who
Yeah.
were there. And they were like, Karan's waiting. I'm like, guys, wait. I was doing the selections remotely. You just have that 30-minute window to go. So then innately,
Oh my
subconsciously.
God, I
what to
know how
select.
stressful it must be because
Yeah.
I was sitting on these 3 celebrity weddings. I was there in that committee. And then I could say mummy was saying something, the bride was, because they're actors and actresses. So
Correct.
they are so used to correcting their images and seeing their images touched up or corrected or for that matter, the perfect shot. But it's a moment.
No, but Karan, that first photo is all that matters.
Yeah.
Because it becomes the news for the wedding.
Yeah.
End of the day.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Also, a lot of people aren't ready, really, essentially, to pay for photography, even though they've spent lakhs and lakhs on the decorations, on the venue. What should they know about the technique and why it's so important?
Excellent.
Like
Ah.
sometimes you're like, "Arey, get a local like photographer who's not so gifted or perhaps not," and because they think picture hi to leni hai,
Correct.
not realizing that actually this is where the heart of the wedding lies.
True.
Correct.
To me, like you explain, like your behind the scenes coverage or the videography and the photography,
Mm.
like I think we've kind of said it. It's like it captures emotions that are frozen in memory, right?
When I started this,
You do this. Ah.
you know, couples would hesitate to pay me a little bit more than what a normal videographer or photographer would charge, just because they didn't understand this. They were used to this 5-hour DVD
Yeah.
that they would get, and now suddenly they're getting a film which they didn't understand what it was. It took almost 5 years and a film like Anushka and Virat's to start changing how people started looking at films, and then they started paying the amount
Yeah.
that we would need to make. And it is expensive, no? When you're making a film now, there's music, there's so much camera, there's so much post production and editing, there's so much storage, especially when you're doing this long term,
Yeah.
and as a business, that you have to grow it sustainably, and that's where the cost comes in to make this work.
You've been part of so many iconic weddings, whether it's Ranveer and Deepika, Virat, Anushka, and several others. Of course, in our line of work or in any profession, equality is so essential. You don't want to treat them specially because they're movie stars. But like, is there something but they're also because they're movie stars, there's a certain way, and they've done this all their lives. Like, they've kind of been married in movies and they've done things that are dramatic and filmy, for the lack of a better way of describing it. What did you do to make those moments special? Because
It's
also
difficult.
sometimes movie stars like clamp up even more than regular people do.
But the thing is, yeah, you said it right. Now they do this for a living, and how
Yeah.
do you make someone look and feel beautiful and feel like cherished? Because they've been shot under Karan Johar, they've
Yeah.
been shot by Mohanan and some beautiful cinematographers, and at a wedding, it's me with my camera, and it's them without all this fancy lighting. I think music really helps, the emotion really helps, and I think most importantly, the fact that it's real and it's real love.
Right.
It's not fake. You can see it now.
And that comes through.
That comes through. Like one of
And
the
you like
toughest
it,
ones.
and you like it candid much more than, of course, when it's instructed.
Not at we wouldn't direct them. It's because it's not
You
a
just
movie
meet
I'm
them flow,
making. It's someone's wedding you're shooting. So you're there to observe it, not direct it. So we always say we capture your wedding. We don't say we direct your wedding film.
We capture it.
We
I like
capture
it.
it.
Yeah, which is what you've been saying. Kavita and Ankit, you've somehow unlocked the cheat code, if I can call it that, for making trending content at weddings. Do families expect that when they kind of come to you? Like, like we know we're going to have certain level of virality when we come to you.
Right. It's expected.
It's expected.
It's expected. Mostly the moms and their gang, they're super excited. They're always like, kuch to bana do hamara. So it's always expected. Some brides and grooms are very private. They still want it because it's short form content for them. So it's easier to scroll on Instagram, and they keep their page private just for themselves, and they scroll it for themselves. So that time it's not the case.
So give me an expectation of a trending reel. Like, what would they think is potentially a trending reel?
Say basically like anything, like if it touches 1 million on Instagram, 1 million views, they think that they have gone viral. We have had a couple like there, and fun fact that we recreated your song from Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. We did that. We got the whole group together. We made them do
Which
the
song?
step of Koi Mil
Koi
Gaya.
Mil
We made them do the whole step. Like there were 7 people. We had
20 people,
yeah,
we
20
had to
people were
direct them, and it's chaotic because you get 5 minutes, you have to direct those 20 people and get the best out of
Yeah.
it, and then get it viral. So it's
So that
a lot of steps.
video touched 2 million views.
God.
It was featured on Dharma Instagram page as well.
Oh, really?
And you wouldn't believe the family. They just lit a cracker.
Yeah.
Patake phode unhone, like anar, chakri, everything.
Because Dharma shared the reel.
Dharma shared it, and it was crazy. They were so happy.
When I'm doom scrolling at night, like literally many a times, I find some people creating, elements of my movie in through reels and all. And I randomly like just share it. And then wake up in the morning to like really like excited people.
What have you
like,
created?
Yeah, like was yeah.
The people who hire us, they book us, they also want that their movie feels like a Bollywood movie.
Like a movie.
So
Yeah.
they want that some elements from the movie should come out, and that's how
We
it
also pick
trends.
up dialogues from movies to get recreated in certain scenarios. So it's fun that way.
How nice, actually. And what money is such a big component. What if they can't afford you, Joseph? What would be your advice to those couples who want that dreamlike feeling, but possibly are not high on resources? They have enough, but not that kind of money to get like the top A list, but they still want the impact. What is your advice to them?
If there's somebody like that, I think a lot of people do reach out. Karan, I have a very simple thing. If they say we are, we can't afford, we don't have the budget to hire you, then I think the first thing my own team is advised to do is to ask them for the budget so we can recommend photographers within that budget.
Or you do that? Huh?
Absolutely, all the time, whose work is similar to us or in the same vein at least, which is true to emotion, true to rawness, etc.
Yeah.
I think
I think that's nice. Does that happen to you, Vishal, as well, where you've recommended someone else when you know that look, they may not have the kind of bandwidth?
Lots of times. I mean, there are a million weddings a year in India. We can only do 30 a year.
Yeah.
That's me and my team, like all of us put together. But their wedding is going to be beautiful either way, whether I shoot it or not. It's a wedding, so even if you get your friends to film it, even if you get somebody new who's never done it before, but you're giving them a break too. If they do it with love, if they do it with respect, the memory will be beautiful. It's that.
It's
a wedding.
most important that the memories.
I look at the work I did in 2010 and 11. I find it cringe now when I look at it, But, I mean, to the bride and groom, it's still beautiful.
Does social media following, likes or numbers matter, like we were discussing? Selecting a photographer, can a person with 50K do better than someone with 1 million?
No. I think if you're a bride today, my advice would be figure out what you truly love. Just blank out that number, right? And see if you connect with the photos that are being shared. That's all that matters to me. Of course, the other question I have for any bride or groom watching this is your wedding content or is it memories for yourself?
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I'm okay if the answer is yes to is your wedding content. I'm totally okay with that. Because perhaps you have a career in attention that you're vying for or that you're craving for attention. Don't know, it's fine with me. But if that's not the case and you want your wedding memory to be preserved, I think that a photo with 10 likes or a photo with 10,000 likes, there's no difference.
And when a couple is meeting both of you, what do you think there are the 5 questions or 3 questions, whatever you think, are the questions that you feel they must ask you?
Excellent.
It's more than the style. I think, do they want to be directed or not? Because I've gone to weddings and it's like you said, now, do you want content or do you want it to be a memory? Because our finest work isn't online. Deepika Padukone's film, for example, for 5 years, no one saw it. And I used to watch it and be like, such a beautiful wedding. Nobody will ever see this.
Yeah.
I had no idea that you're going to play it on Coffee with Karan.
Yeah.
But they did 5 years later and it made such a huge impact to our business.
Yeah.
It does because, people see it and then they finally see what you can do. Or Anushka and Virat, they didn't release their wedding film immediately. They took a year to decide and then they released just a minute of it.
Yeah.
The 1.5 hour video is just for them. I mean, Deepika's 2 hour movie is just for her.
Yeah.
But it's so soulful. Ideas when their children watch it one day, they should know where their roots are from. They should know how mom and dad met. They should know the nitty-gritties of their love story. It perhaps will make their lives richer in some way.
How nice, actually.
You
One
should-
looks at it with that lens, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. And what do you think are the red flags? Like the things that they should really stay away from, or rather you should stay away from?
Rather, I should stay away from. To turn your wedding into a shoot, invariably where you have so many things that you want to make it more about what you get to remember than the actual memory itself of the wedding.
That's true.
So you'd asked for 5 questions. I'll give you 2, the
Yeah.
simplest ones. Number 1 should be what's your favorite photo? Ask the photographer what their favorite photo is. Because that is a clear indicator of the kind of photos they want to make, not the kind of photos they actually make.
Hmm.
Try and understand.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if that is in sync with what you want, great. The second, I think, is can you introduce us to a bride or groom that you have photographed? I think that should be key.
Hmm.
If they can introduce you to 3 or 4, even better. Because You know this, Karan. Like when you take a photo, it's 1/100th of a second,
Sure.
etc. Right? So my sum total of number of times I'll actually take a photo is not more than 8 minutes at a 3-day wedding,
Sure.
all in. But I spend 20 hours with people. I call myself a friend for hire.
Yeah.
Right? So how you are as a person, I feel, is so much more important than the
Yeah.
final photos. I've always had this belief that if you shoot with a phone, shoot with a film camera, shoot with a disposable camera, dude, it's your wedding. You're gonna enjoy those photos
Yeah.
irrespective. How you are as a person, I think, is the most important thing. You don't want somebody who's pushy. You want somebody who gives an actual human experience. You nailed it in the first 5 minutes of this conversation. You said we need to be therapists as well.
Yeah.
True.
I take that to heart, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So a long time ago, I'll give you. You haven't asked for tea, but a long time ago, long time ago, I shot a wedding where I was physically thrown out.
Wow.
What? Temperatures raised, everybody got angry and all of that stuff. They needed somebody to blame, and I was asked to exit
Why?
5 minutes before the bride entry, because they thought that the bride was taking so long to get ready to enter the mandap that it's the photographer's fault. They needed somebody to blame. So there, I have a simple choice: to walk away, let my ego take over, or just remember the fact that is that the way the bride is always going to remember me, as the guy who walked away. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. I spoke to everyone and I went back out, just shot a little bit longer lens, captured everything. They get the photos. The bride doesn't know that I was asked to leave. 10 days later, I'm getting a call from the bride and I'm shitting bricks. I'm really scared, saying, "Oh my God, ab kya hone wala hai" types. She answers the call and she says, "Joe, my papa wants to speak to you." Papa gets on the phone and says, "Joe, beta." And by the
छोटी-छोटी चीजें क्या भारी चले?
बाहर निकाल.
and he's all like, I had guests from 17 countries. They're shocked by the art that you've created, etc.
Therapy is a thing at weddings. I did this. We have to do these interviews where we talk to couples, and sometimes they happen so quickly, these weddings, that roka chat, the engagement and the wedding, the bride has not had time to process it, but there's so much left to say. And I'm talking to her about love, life, and marriage, and she starts talking about her ex-boyfriend for an hour and a half. And I try to get
But we discussed no tea.
how, but
This is great tea.
but the wedding happened, and then they're happy together, and I guess she just had to get it off her chest and talk about it to someone, because
Or maybe she's not happy. How do you know? No, I'm not saying anything
We
anymore.
are
about
glass
marriages.
half full all the time. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
Super
true.
optimistic.
Kavita, do you remember your first reel that went viral?
Yeah, it was a wedding, my friend's wedding. So he just randomly came to us. हम लोग we used to create
Yeah,
content for ourselves. Just when we got married, random content, and उन्होंने बोला कि come to our wedding and capture our wedding.
That's,
So
how,
that's
we
how
started,
we started.
basically. Yeah.
So everything went viral. It went completely viral because we did not know what we were doing. We just shot everything. We posted
Yeah, like it was a
everything
very
online.
new concept. Like you have your videographers, photographers, but this was something because we were updating everything live.
Live. So
Because
live and
the
short
moment
form.
that happened and everything was live on their Instagram page. So when people started seeing it, they said, "Okay, this just happened, and I could see this." So everyone went crazy, and it was so raw, it was so authentic. Like we created it that way. We wanted to be so the real emotion comes out. So yeah, so that like everything went viral from that wedding.
That's amazing. So that's how the journey began, right? Okay, wow. Okay, so we've shared the fairy tale side of wedding visuals, but let's get real. Every wedding has a plot twist, and when the drama hits, you need backup.
Right.
Fun's over, though I'm not sure that was fun. And now let's talk about something crucial. Your venue isn't just a backdrop, it's basically the third lead character in your wedding film, right? How do you make sure your wedding location acts and is like actually visually fits together? Like, how is that an important component? Venue being the most, I would imagine.
it's everything. But it's also like based on who you are.
Yeah.
Are you getting married in a palace like Diomed? Are you going to get married at home or in a temple? No, there's no right or wrong answer. No, it's all about your personality.
Yeah.
Choosing a place that speaks to you is where you should get married, according to me.
Joseph, you shot at palaces, beaches, and everything in between. What's the biggest venue mistake? When I mean venue mistake, that I mean like the error that couples make from a photography POV.
You choose a beautiful venue and you decide to get married in the night. That's the biggest mistake. You choose a
How,
lakeside
how
venue.
smart and actually simple that is, but how stupid that can be also.
Current a lakeside venue. I've shot a wedding where which was it's stunning blue waters behind. 6 events, not a single one saw daylight. It's all you need. Daylight is your magic. It's the cheapest way out. I'm all I'm saying is to couples who are watching this, talk to your pundit, see what it takes to convince them that the muhurat has to be shifted
Yeah.
to daytime. Bas.
Well said, well advised. Vishal, of the 3 celebrity weddings that we know of, Deepika, Katrina, Priyanka, Priyanka as well, right?
He
No.
shot Priyanka.
He
right?
shot
Virat.
Priyanka. Okay. So
Virat.
Deepika, Katrina, I know you
There's
did.
Bipasha.
And Bipasha.
There was Natasha Varun. There was Kiara
Natasha and
Singh.
Varun. Kiara Sid, oh my god, yes, of course. I was there at most of these weddings.
No, Dia Mirza. So many. So
Was
many.
there one particular one that was challenging, not because of the people involved, but sometimes circumstantially?
I think it's when they want to release the film instantly, and then like Sid and Kiara's, for
Yeah.
example, she wanted to use Ranja.
Yeah.
But now you and me both know Ranja is a song about him dying.
Yes.
I couldn't really use it in the film.
I know, but
I'd
we had to change those lyrics.
and it happened overnight. That was it was challenging,
I
but it's
remember
so
all the drama
fulfilling.
happened.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
there, and I was
Yeah.
like, Karan, can I use the song? And you're like, please use it. And then we changed the lyrics, but how beautiful it turned out
Yeah.
overnight, literally.
And that moment, we've spoken about it in another podcast, where it happened organically because she came out dancing and he did this with his
It
watch.
just all worked
And
out.
I'm like, literally, we created it in Call Me Way, like the same thing.
It
Like,
was
It
so
was
literally-
sweet,
trend.
though.
Everyone
It-
at weddings were doing this.
yeah,
They were like,
they were like, all this
"Oh,
viral trend
everyone
became
was
about the
like,
ghadi. And
everyone."
literally, like, it was not planned. None of that was
None of
planned.
it. Not even the song.
Because
Not
she
even the
was
song.
drastically late, poor thing, and like because for whatever it's a lot, yeah. It's like weddings are allowed, and everybody was like and this was a very intimate wedding. You see, intimate weddings may any delay is
It's-
magnified
Yeah.
Yes.
because like it's only few people. In a big wedding, kind of time is expected to kind of.
And even Deepika's, you go there to Kumo and they spend so much and they've put in so much of effort to take time out and get there, and then it's cloudy and overcast. And literally the first puja starts and you see the sky clearing and it's magical and the sun comes out and then you know you're at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
You know,
The gods have spoken.
the gods have spoken.
हर वेन्यू जो है इंस्टाग्राम फ्रेंडली नहीं होता. ऐसे बहुत वेन्यूज होते हैं जो ट्रिकी होते हैं. वहां हम वायरल वीडियो नहीं बना पाते या शायद बिहाइंड द सीन्स जो है वो अच्छी तरह नहीं बन पाएंगे. तो वो ट्रिकी लोकेशंस होते हैं. तो वो उसके अराउंड आप कैसे जाते हो?
तो हमारा वही है कि हमारे केस में बहुत बार लोकेशंस मैटर ही नहीं करते. मतलब हमारा कंटेंट इतना रॉ और इतना ऑथेंटिक होता है कि हम ब्राइड और ग्रूम के रूम में ही घुस जाते हैं और वहीं पर जब वो रेडी हो रहे, जब वो अपने फ्रेंड से मिल रहे. हमारी एक ब्राइड थी, उनकी शादी हो रही थी एंड शी वाज शिफ्टिंग टू अनदर सिटी. तो उस केस में उनके सारे फ्रेंड्स आ रहे थे और वो इतना इमोशनल हो गई. सब आकर उनको हक कर रहे थे कि आप शिफ्ट हो रहे हो, आप मूव कर रहे हो दूसरे सिटी में. तो वही है कि हमारे केस में हम बहुत बार लोकेशन को इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं दे तो भी चलेगा, क्योंकि असलियत में लोगों को वही देखना होता है कि जिससे वो रिलेट कर पाए.
जी.
अगर वो इमोशन उन्हें दिख रहा है कि
तो
हाँ
जगह जो भी हो.
जगह जो भी हो,
अच्छा,
बस इमोशन ही
मैं
matter
जब
करता है.
आप सबकी बातें सुन रहा हूँ तो मुझे इस बात का एहसास हो जाता है कि हमारा जो काम है और आपका काम है वो बहुत सिमिलर है. हम भी ऐसे पहुंचते लोकेशंस पे, कभी कभी लोकेशन नहीं आ जाती, कोई प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है लोकेशन में, लास्ट में कुछ और एडजस्ट करना पड़ता है. तो फिर आप देख लेते हो कि सीन में दम है या नहीं. अभी वही आप बात कर रहे हो
हाँ.
कि इमोशन
अगर
लोगों से
emotion
आता है.
है
तो अगर
तो-
इमोशन है तो जो भी जगह हो,
हाँ.
लाइट जो भी हो, चल जाएगा. इमोशन सही होना
हाँ.
चाहिए. आपकी सीन में दम है, राइटिंग लिखाई में दम है, और इस तरह यहाँ तो लिखाई नहीं होती
हाँ.
क्योंकि उनकी
Real
नीचे
आपके
जिंदगी है.
एडिट में, आपके म्यूजिक में अगर म्यूजिक उस सीन को सूट कर रहा है, अगर आपने उस तरीके से उसको यूज किया है तो ऑटोमेटिकली सब रिलेट करेंगे इनसे. और सबका वो आप कमेंट्स भी देखो तो सब रोते हुए कमेंट करते हैं कि हाँ इससे आई एम आल्सो रिलेटिंग टू इट, मेरे साथ भी ऐसा होने वाला है, मेरी भी शादी
तो
होने
हमें
वाली है.
एक्चुअली बहुत ज्यादा टाइटल्स पे कैप्शंस पे वर्क करना पड़ता है ऐसे सिचुएशन में, बट इट वर्क्स आउट.
but it works.
Yeah.
For me, costumes are such an integral part of my films. I would say the most obsessed with that department.
You
Like to
started
me-
it in Bollywood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Costumes weren't a thing before
No.
you came in.
So I remember, and I'll tell you, it's a very funny story. I actually, my career would have never taken off if it was not for a costume. So I was on the sets of Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge.
The leather
Ironically, it
jacket
just finished
story.
30 years. And I was an AD on that film. तो उस film में मैं AD था और I was very miserable on the second day. कि I kept thinking this is not for me. Because my parents had told me this industry is not for you, this filmmaking is not for you, and I was coming in everyone's way. मैं बहुत, like lost house set पे, and I was just sitting really sad, and I was going to go and tell Adi that I think I won't come from tomorrow. Though I had prepped with him for 3 months, and this is not this in business is not for me. And he came suddenly barging in, and he was like, "Listen, Gauri is not doing Shah Rukh's clothes, and we have no outfit, and he's coming for one shot. There's a song in that Na Jaane Mere Dil where he comes. She opens the door to her house, and she sees him in her imagination. He's waving to her like this in a red and white sweater, and it's an iconic shot of his where he waves out. So I was like, oh, so he's like, you have to do it, do something. So I was like, what do I do? He says, there's a Chandni ka peti. You know, peti wahan jao. He will come in his jeans. Just get him some kind of sweater, anything. I need something last minute because he's coming and I don't have an outfit.
So you wore Rishi Kapoor's sweater from
So
Chandni?
there was a Rishi Kapoor sweater that was unused with white and red stripes, and it was torn here because it was a Chandni sweater. We're going back 6 years. Huh?
I love
Big tear. There was a blazer that had an emblem. Now, because my mind works like that, so I put that emblem on that hole, and I made the dada, the dress dada we used to call them. They stitch it, and somehow I managed, and I went and gave it. Didn't tell them the whole backstory, and he wore it, and I was like heaving like a sigh of relief that it, because for me it was like really stressful, but I felt like I did something. And the next day, Adi called me, and he was like, you know what? Shah Rukh has said that, why don't you do the clothes? I was like, me? But I'm not a designer or I've never done it. Like, I'm just like a person who likes shopping and that too, like not that much because I didn't have the money at that time. So he was like, nee, you should do the clothes. So my first dream to have continued that journey was because of that one costume, and because I did Shah Rukh's clothes. I thought that I will be a costume designer. In my head, I worked it out that Manish will do the girls and I will do the boys, and like we'll become two forces of costume. That was pretty much the ambition. It wasn't getting into movies. So when I think of clothes, I think it's so important. Manyavar is all about feeling, emotion, glamour, glitter, shine, sequence. So I ask you, Maverick Minds, specifically you, Joseph, because I mean, this is what really captures your eye. Which one of what we are wearing would capture like the best imagination, make the best image?
Should I post?
For sure.
Yes, right?
I'll tell you shamelessly why.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
I'd like those.
No, but I'll tell you why. Flash will ruin those.
Yeah.
Okay, so even in daytime, if the sun hits them directly, then they'll shine brighter than your face. Okay, whereas this guy is all color.
Yeah.
I am monotone.
And on monotone, but he's also all color, but also saturated.
Correct.
Like it's not in your face.
And it's on black.
Yeah.
So it looks even better.
It's coming even more.
Yeah. So you and I are in monotone max, and if the lighting is not optimal, you would barely see these outfits. They could look the same.
So Vishal's the clear winner.
100%.
I love it.
Sorry,
All right.
guys.
Okay.
I'm sad.
Okay. You know what the best part of hosting this podcast is? Getting to ask questions nobody else gets to ask. Like this is a question I wouldn't have asked anybody else. And right now I'm looking at 4 people who've seen everything. Literally everything behind the scenes at the wedding. The meltdowns, the chaos, the moments that don't matter to it. Every single thing. All right. We've been chatting a lot amongst each other, but there are people who genuinely need our help and advice. Real people, real problems. And I think we are the perfect committee, as in you are the perfect committee. I'm just like a bystander to help their issues. So welcome to the Shaadi SOS hotline, our emergency room for wedding chaos. A segment where real couples send in their wedding challenges and this fabulous panel has to rescue them before the barat hits the dance floor. All right, are you ready? For us to give, now this is, I have to change my chashma because I'm blind. All right, here goes. Hi Karan, I'm Sana. She's a girl, 26 years old. Just got back from my honeymoon in Kunur and everyone started asking for the wedding photos. We were super excited only till the photographer stopped responding to our feedback and requests. I've officially been ghosted. No calls, no emails, nothing at all. Their Instagram is still active though. Now, do I scramble for a new team or hope he magically replies, Kya karoon? Scramble for a new team, meaning how? If he's gone missing, then what new team can capture those moments, right?
Oh my God. Scramble for a new team for sure.
But which new team? The wedding's over.
Oh, the wedding's over.
Yeah, she's in the honeymoon.
Okay, here's a fun way to do it.
I think make it Instagram.
That's
like,
exactly
put it
what I
on the
was
gram. I would say like, hey, this guy got married, got paid this much, has not
No,
replied.
I wasn't even going there. You were going on attack mode. I'm going on repair mode, which is
what I realized you are as a human being. Because my instinct, if someone threw me out of a wedding, I would like say, I'm going.
I'm on repair mode. You would have a wedding WhatsApp group. You know, pretty much every wedding has it, where all the close friends are on it, etc. Reach out to everyone and say, dump all the photos and let's see if we can create a wedding post out of it.
I'll try and get the planner involved, the videographer involved.
You
try
will
and
try to get the
them
police involved, Vishal.
eventually.
Yeah.
Actually, we have done something of that sort because like we have had a wedding where like people contacted us post their wedding and they had their videos. They wanted us to create viral reels out of it.
Yeah.
Like so, we have already done that. Like they gave us all their all their friends, all their family, whoever took videos. They just shared it with us, and we edited in our own way using hooks and everything, so that it did really well on Instagram. That's like we have already done that.
That said, I think there are a lot of wedding photographers who are going to watch this.
Yeah.
Okay, my number one advice is whether they're a celebrity or they are completely private people, everybody should get a set of photos within the first 48 hours
Yes.
after the
True.
Fera's end. Period.
But that's the right time.
Yeah.
At least few of every
Few of
event.
everything,
48 hours, non-negotiable, even if it's 10 photos. I'm putting a number on it. Right? So I'll tell you why it's so important, Karan, because at the time we say I shot Priyanka's wedding, parallelly there were 2 other weddings that my colleagues were shooting. And if I publish Priyanka's photos, the first question is going to be, oh wow, Joe, congratulations, you got to shoot Priyanka's wedding. But the second question is, why weren't my photos shared with me?
Hmm.
Am I not as important
Yeah.
as that bride?
Yeah.
Simple.
If
10
you can
photos.
do it for Priyanka, Ranveer and Deepika,
We'll do it
then
for
you
everyone.
Can do it for
Absolutely.
anyone. And that's the ethic, I think,
Correct.
in the system. Right. Okay, wonderful. All right. Hey, Karan, I'm Vikram. He's a male 35. We'd been planning this dreamy sunrise shoot for weeks. You know, the whole cinematic vibe, etc. But now the forecast says there will be thunderstorms all morning. The backup indoor setup is this dark hall with very tacky lighting.
Hmm.
That doesn't work for sure. How do we still get epic photos? My wedding is in 12 days. Please help.
I think go and shoot in the thunderstorm. It won't get more epic than that.
But actually, like in a lot of our weddings that we did in the rainy season,
Hmm.
it was raining. We just captured it that way. We asked the bride, okay, well, what are you feeling? Like it's raining.
Capture it.
Do you know, can I tell you
running
by
around.
my cinematic lens, and I'm not
Right.
a photographer or director of photography, far from it, that grey weather light
Yes.
is actually beautiful.
Very
Yeah,
beautiful.
very
Like,
That's
your-
dramatic.
the stunning, your face, like I've noticed it whenever I've shot. Like I remember, and I'll tell you all a personal incident that happened. We were shooting for Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, the title track in Scotland, and my cinematographer was Santosh Tundial, who didn't get his visa. So we had to take Santosh Sivan, the master Santosh Sivan, to shoot the song. And we had scheduled a 10-day schedule and we got wrapped in 5 days because of Santosh Sivan. And I'll tell you why. Scotland's weather, everyone knows. It was crazy. It was raining. My father was like, Barish ho rahi hai, kaise shooting karenge? He said, why? It rains, no, in life. They're also loving in life only. Shoot. And literally, it was raining. I said, Santosh, it's raining. He's like, so? I said, shoot. So they're going, kya karu, hai, kuch kuch hota, and it's raining. They could tell me the drizzle on the head.
Yeah.
He didn't care. Then we stopped at some place and literally there was no permission to shoot. Last minute, they dropped our permission from one of the big Scottish, one of those massive fortresses, etc. We were literally, our holding position was a dump yard. A dump yard, literally.
Huh.
And 3 shots of the song are in that dump yard.
Wow.
We shot it. He was like, I'll make it look beautiful. Something he did, like, he said, stand there. Nobody will tell it's a garbage dump yard. Shoot.
Correct.
There's a whole dump yard in the title.
Right.
And what makes you think is like adversity gives you opportunity.
Opportunity.
So I'm like, if there's a thunderstorm, like you rightly said, go into the eye of the storm and shoot.
Shoot.
It's a giant skimmer in the sky.
Yeah.
For you.
It's a giant skim in the sky. Well said, Vishal. Well said. All right. Okay. Now let's have some fun with it, right? Shall we?
Yes.
All right. Okay, let's do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, time for Saat Sawaal. Here's the deal. I'm going to ask some very nosy questions. You can answer, give me all the details, make it juicy and spicy, or you can sit there quietly, maintain your professional dignity, and I will understand that, and eat this instead. Please see, that's a spicy laddu. So if you don't give me spice, you get to eat the spice. And all things nice, right?
Right.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. My team keeps perfecting it with every podcast, which is both impressive and deeply concerning because they keep adding the right amount of chili on this bundi ka laddu, so it's really quite spicy. All right, shall we begin?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. Vishal, I'm going to start with you. If I'm not happy, by the way, I'm the master of ceremonies, so if I'm not happy, I will make you eat that laddu. All right, Vishal, starting with you. Saat Sawaal like Saat Pheras, get it?
Yes.
All right.
Definitely.
Deepika, Ranveer, Sid, Kiara, Katrina, Vicky, Bipasha, your favorite wedding to shoot?
Can I have a laddu, please? It's a deadly
Where-
question.
Vishal, I think you want.
I'm really sorry. I want to shoot more in life. I'm not going to pick up.
Yeah, you try. Later on, tell me in my ear. Okay. I'm just a nosy Parker, as you know. I like to know things. All right, Joseph. Best celebrity wedding photos you've recently seen that weren't yours, but you still love them. Whose were they?
Oh, I can answer this.
Yeah.
Selena Williams. Selena. Who's it?
अरे बाबा इंडिया का नाम दो ना सेलिना विलियम्स को कैसे
ओ इंडिया का
यहाँ का बॉली का दो बॉली का
कोई नहीं
कोई नहीं है खाओ
वो
खाओ you didn't like anyone video eat I like these boys are liking the laddu is it very spicy
Uh-huh.
Very
Okay.
spicy.
I can feel the smoke coming out of my ears.
it really hits you at the end.
yeah it's good maybe I'll go back high high on chili all right for Kavita and Ankit you get to answer this both your whole brand is about real moments right how often are you actually staging things
It's 90% of times not staged, but 10% people are like, ये करते हैं ना viral हो जाएगा. तो it is staged.
so some is
Sometimes,
staged
yeah.
okay honest आपको लड्डू नहीं
Honest.
मिलता
मेरे को नहीं खाना था.
नहीं खाना. All right, Vishal, share a love story where the chemistry just overtook all the technicalities, where you felt like you didn't even have to plan much. Everything was just effortless. 10 on 10.
Aye. I think like Anushka and Virat, I didn't have to plan anything. There was
It
a
just
certain,
happened organically and pure.
very organically. There was a certain Sufism in the air. It was very like divine love for each other and divine love for God.
Joseph, which wedding photographer in the industry is underrated and needs to get way more credit?
I should take another laddu, no?
Yeah, why give somebody else any credit?
No, okay, I'm going to be super selfish. I work with 14 other photographers, none of whose Instagram following and virality even comes close to 1% of what I have. I feel like there's a lot of amazing work there, but my brand overshadows them so much.
Yeah.
So my own colleagues over at Stories, whether it is Shivali, who we worked with,
Yes.
Jameer, yeah, I want their work to be seen a
To
lot
be
more.
out there. Well, how nice. How nice for you to kind of take it forward. Kavita and Ankit, for both of you, one wedding trend you don't want brides and grooms to follow.
Actually, I think they should stop recreating the same food dialogues because everyone has been doing it and it's all over the internet and it has started to become cringe now.
All right, good. Well, I like that. Okay, now this is for everyone. You've all seen weddings where couples blow lakhs on photography and videography. Which recent big wedding, celebrity or influencer was the most overhyped? I think everyone's going for a laddu. You have an answer?
I want to answer.
Answer! No, but she also wants to go to the laddu.
Yeah.
Oh, you can answer. What is there? You can.
I'm trying to think who was most overhyped.
I'm pushing them to answer.
Answer?
नहीं ज़्यादा हो जाएगा.
Chalo, theek hai.
Half.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Better.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm really trying to think who was overhyped.
We want to do more celebrity weddings. So better
Of
to
course,
keep
you
the
want to
laddu.
do.
There actually haven't been many celebrity weddings in 2025.
No, not many. Have there been? No.
Nope.
I got married.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vishal got married. It was very overhyped.
it was over.
Unnecessarily.
Why did you eat
It was
the laddu?
featured in Vogue
Why
also.
did you eat the laddu?
Because
You
I
couldn't-
started liking the laddus, damn it.
You should have said that could have been your answer, Joseph. All right, before you leave, I have something very interesting. We call it the Manyavar Magic Mantra. Near you, you will find some Shagun envelopes. All right, please write one special mantra, aka one tip, that you'd like everyone who watches this episode to remember. And this goes here, right into that beautiful bowl, our Shagun ka bowl, once you've read it out to us. All right, shall we do it? Please go ahead and write it, and I'd love to hear your prolific thoughts. हो गया सबका?
Yes.
All right. Everyone written there one mantra, aka one tip. All right, Vishal, let's start with you.
Nothing is ever lost to us as long as we remember it.
Nothing is ever lost as long as we remember it. How lovely. Poetically put.
Poetically.
Well done, Vishal.
My advice was for brides and grooms. Remember your love for each other.
Yes.
Because in a wedding, it's very easy to forget.
It is true.
In
It is
all that
true.
stress.
Logistics can make you
Yes.
forget the love. It's love over logistics. All right. Anji, और आपका?
Our advice for all the brides and grooms would be don't run behind creating trends, be the trend yourself.
Very nice. How lovely. Don't run
Behind creating the trend.
Don't
be
run
the
behind a trend.
yourself.
Create your own trend. Make your trend your being. Right. All right. May I request The beautiful Kavita will put it into our beautiful bowl of love. All right. So I'd like to thank everyone for being on the Shaadi podcast. It's been absolutely exhilarating and been informative in equal measure. Thank you, Kavita. Thank you, Ankit. Thank you for everything you do behind the scenes, because everything you've done behind the scenes has translated so beautifully for couples across the world, for living through those memories and seeing the chaos and yet seeing the there's also some beauty in that chaos, really, and being able to see that and capture that has been truly magnificent. And you all are masters and leaders of your craft, and more power to you. And may the wedding business thrive so you can thrive more. I say that to both of you, talented gentlemen, illustrious and talented. Vishal, for pioneering an entire movement in weddings. I remember how we requested you to come in Jawani Diwani because you had done such an exceptional job and everyone was talking about you at that time. And
You put us on the map because of that.
and you came into Jawani Diwani to, shoot the haldi portions and give us some inputs on how to make it look organic, candid, and yet like cinematic, which always your work has. So congratulations for being a market leader. Joseph, for capturing the best images that on planet Earth. And as I said, when I'm getting married, which may never happen, and even if I'm not, I will still call you and say I'm marrying myself today. I've finally come to terms with my own self. I'm also Gemini, so there are two of me anyway, so I can get married to myself. But thank you. All of you have been wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us today. Hope you got some insights on how to have an aesthetic wedding. And if not, DM Manyavar on Instagram and we'll respond to you ASAP. Or the Manyavar Shaadi Show के next episode में तैयार होके आना.